This is Jazz from ZX7r.co.uk, ZX7r Owners Club. Right, now that we've mounted the bulb in, as you've seen from the previous video, the next thing we need to do is get the wiring harness and the ballast and so forth nicely integrated into the front of the actual fairing of the ZX7r. You can't actually put this near the clocks or the relays near the clocks or anything because there's no room whatsoever. I've looked and looked and looked. The best place is to hide it and conceal it within the area of where the lights are situated. So the first thing first is, if you look at your air ducts, we're going to put the ballast here and the actual voltage translator here as well. Not to sound Blue Peter-ish, but here's one that I done earlier. So as you can see, taking it off, there's the ballast firmly in place. 3 bolts, 1, 2, 3, and then we just put the inverter, or the translator, sorry, just using a pair of cable ties. This part here, the way I've done it is because the actual ballast itself has threads, you need to put bolts from the actual inside, as you can see there. If you make holes on the other side, use a long Allen key or a screwdriver, depending which bolts that you've got, you can tighten them. One thing that I would strongly recommend, oh sorry about that, one thing I strongly recommend is that, I don't know if you can see that clearly, lock nuts. Put a lock nut on. The reason is because you've got to understand, when you're travelling at 150, oh sorry, I mean the legal speed limits, you don't want it to vibrate, and obviously vibration with bolts, assuming that they're not lock nuts, will just come loose given enough time. Right, now we put back in play this unit. Okay, and as you can see, it fits in nice. As you're riding, you've got a bit of ventilation to keep this cool, which is perfect. The next thing we're going to be doing is connecting up the cables and where you should put the relay. And the relay is quite an important part as well, because you have a direct feed which you've got to connect to the batteries itself, and the relay takes your existing current from your flick switch on your right handlebar and flicks on the relay, which turns on the ballast, the inverter, and then the actual obviously HID light itself. Okay then.